Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
But this means that FX might have to back off under turret. I think this is Flash's blown minimum if they choose to commit.
This is going to be the 3v2. Zenith Blade lands, but a wonderful buffer from Dway makes it really ugly. Finally get one back. The turret shot bring him down regardless, and 2 kills for the Nautilus. Sorry. 1 for the Xayah, 1 for the Nautilus, but both set up very well by Dway there. And now Gala can be in a lot of danger. He's taking a lot of turret aggro. His Shadow flashes for an audacious charge, and Invictus Gaming never changed, baby.
What have they just done?
Down about a wave or so because of shenanigans that were occurring, as we've seen. Return gank. This one might be a bit easier. Flashes the Q this time around into the Zenith Blade. Assume got nowhere to go. That Xayah will surely be falling. Kill donated over to that legendary Kai'Sa for Gala.
So, yeah. No, it's the wellness check. Anyway, they do manage to get called up to the Kai'Sa. So that is the problem if the Kai'Sa falls behind.
Oh no!
That loosens it.
Yeah,
if you do it that way. Well, that means it's going to sag, Sam. Just from experience, that will sag.
Okay, so there's no point.
Sam, it'll sag. Go to fight. Let's talk about that.
We'll do a fight later. Let's make out. Gets chunked before this one. All the while, though, grubs have indeed spawned. JJ and Rookie currently in or around the pit. Shadow looking to potentially punish here as the Fire going to try and trade that one out. Nearly gets knocked up there. Let's get out of the pit. Audacious charge not enough to sort that one out. Space big shove goes wide.
1v1 on the bot side too. Both those ultimates used. There's no summoners used on that one yet. Second grub secured.
Still got a smite remaining, does JJ, but that does mean that Shadow without his, still not going to lead to all that much. Nice hook though, it's the death charge on the Galu, now to back away. Leaves the Leono out for dust. Nice pickup for FPX.
Yeah, and Care forced the flash from Rookie just before that too.
Yes, for Rookie in the mid lane, that kind of thing, but at least on camera, the plays have been solid for FPX so far. They won't pick up the second dragon though, as IG are the ones that get to it.
Gold lead's not massive right now. There basically isn't a gold lead as far as both teams are concerned. IG with the double dragon.
Whether he's trying to read something from Gala or whether it was just a fat finger, as Alex wonders, and I have to agree, it feels like something a little perplexing to say the least. He's assuming a dangerous spot here as a flash on forwards for the passive. Last order would do it. Featherfall not enough. Gala in danger. Under the turret, he's got so deep.
Gala, what have you done? Uses both his summoners, assume Fatfingered his flash, but Gala misuses both of his. Hooks in the bot side, that'll be a kill on Tomeko.
Surely will be. Goes down. Nice knockback though, as they will turn it around as the Shy and JJ getting a lot of damage back. But here comes Shadow looking for something more. Wind becomes lightning. Flash in for the audacious charge after. They get another 2 for 1 in the bot side for FPX, but the tower stands. Top side IG got theirs.
Sloppy map play from FPX. Well, sloppy play in general in the last minute. FPX, the thing we were talking about before this is the next phase.
The Shy misses out on the public execution, I think because of a knockback from JJ. Mid lane we're looking though as Assume is absolutely leveled by the combo from Invictus Gaming. Solar Flare plus a shove back leads to a very dead bird. Care though, in a 1v1 with the Shy,
he's just gonna
not having fun. He's getting run down. Flashes, finally has a blast go and gets out to safety. No public execution for 7 seconds or so, so Care survives.
I didn't see that the Shy's flash was just on cooldown too. I thought it was actually just up there, but I was baited a little bit by the display. So the Shy forced the flash out. That's good actually. It does mean that your ultimate downtime is a lot shorter. It's Herald has started up.
Alrighty then, so play begins. Teleport flying on through from both sides. We want to play for this Herald down and secured by Shadow. The rest of the thing comes on forwards as Dwayne lands that Dredge Sign. The Shy trading out with Shadow, but gets a public execution to the back line of JJ already dead. Care and Assume 1v1ing, 2v1ing realistically the Shy as Rookie pulled back by the Dredge line. Flashing away, decent sized big shove, keeps himself alive for a second or two, but the damage already done is sheer. Sets that Talia on fire. Mako hit by the wind becoming lightning and will be grounded a little bit more permanently in a grave.
IG are taking some really bad fights. They're getting forced onto you very easily. Can't really follow suit. JJ caught out early.
Oh, and Rookie just caught out there by that direction. Had the flash, didn't think he was going to need it. regrets that choice very fast indeed, as all the while Shadow manages to get Irene. And I think that gold lead not as excessive as it could be, purely because I think they've been farming really well. Shadow, though, continuing to be very aggressive here. 3-0 and 2. Good time on this. Trying to block Rookie off the wind wall. Crescent Guard sends him straight back, and a wipeout for the Surfer Talia.
Care will get himself even more Dark Steel stacks. 8 on that now. Honestly, if I'm Care, I'm slamming a Magi's right now. He's so powerful and they're snowballing well. The 6 grubs of the Herald will keep going in for extra objectives. FPX starting to get huge gold leads. And because they actually don't have any grubs, they can't cross map well.
Shy is trying, but it's just so much slower. And they've got no wave clear. That's the inhibitor turret down. 3 turrets in the blink of an eye down in that bot lane.
At least IG will answer with a mid lane outer and then the top lane in. No, they can't get that on this wave. So it's a couple of turrets down for just the one of IG. They try and cross map, but
Assuming on the other side, starting to get them coming through for IG, but they are far enough behind. Those second items are lagging just a little.
Ari's hit the Leandri's power spike, so you have double HP at this point. Hang on a second, we've got a fight coming through. Great hook!
And reads the flash too. Gala gets to ult away to safety. That's important. The problem is he's not here to defend the turret as a charm lands onto the Shy, then has to get pulled back in by that dredge line.
And now
tier 1 goes.
And now they get to use that 6 grubs again. Whenever they force a play, the 6 grubs make it so much easier to capitalize after. IG not respecting the play, but honestly, Dway God hook in the mid lane to start off this phase of events.
That was really clean. And over towards the Atacom we go. Minute and a half till Infernal Dragon. FPX, a team I think many people have... He literally facepalmed off camera.
Yeah. Why is Gala cancel this back? IG, they're not setting up for the dragon. They do choose to go for an inner turret instead. Have to, strictly. They can let 1 or 2 go. They did get themselves the cross map already. They shouldn't be dying for this. That's the big thing. They give over the dragon. They already
there and have the Kai'Sa come flying on in with the ultimate. Does have leave FPX to shove up through mid lane. It's only Mako and the Shy.
Hang on. Big wraparound. Here comes JJ. Here comes Gala.
Big fight, assuming danger, gets hit by the Solar Flare, and that means the Xayah is dead to rights. Mako still alive, in comes Care, looking for an angle, but just doesn't have that much damage. Charm in the backside, Mako still alive, finally falls to Care. The Sheer is here, looking for the equalizer for the Shy, then flashing on board a Drake hand step across Care, who's got no ult charges, and so goes down. FPX play that mid lane shove horribly.
Assume doesn't even ult. What the heck happened with the Xayah? Needed to cleanse, needed to ult.
Say the least. Assume at 3 items, but of course so is the Kai'Sa, who's also got an Amto and inventory alongside the Nashes and Rage Blade. So at this point, Victor's Gaming, they've found some good pounces, but their actual straight up 5v5 team fights around these objectives has been a little lackluster, all things said and done. It needs to be better here.
IG are looking for the flanks. Here comes everyone. This is the Avengers assembling.
Assume goes up into the air, public execution doesn't land on them. Here comes Gala to the backside. Assume is gone. They will lose to Shy. Finally does that Xayah fall. Gala though goes golden, but he's surrounded by 4 members. Dies as well. Cost a lot to bring down the Xayah this time. Flash on it, but the Crescent Guard knocked back onto JJ, who tries to ult back out to safety. The seismic shove buys some time, but the rest of Invictus Gaming have to run. They will not be able to fight for this dragon, sure.
While JJ's up, but he has Smite. That could be the danger. Q Smite in could change everything. Rookie caught.
Goes golden himself, but to what avail? He's caught around 4 members. The hook again from Dway. Even after the flash, he's been reading them so well this game. And FPX pick up another fight and another dragon.
Dway has been absolutely foundational for FPX here in this game. They will not be able to... AD carry is traded for AD carry rather than a clean kill onto just the Xayah.
Shy also being an additional consolation prize to shoot in the picture though. Crescent Guard was just popped by Shadow. In fact, I think he's in danger here. Gets a decent amount of healing back, courtesy of the Sundered Sky. They've lost Assume again, though. This is looking a lot better for Invictus Gaming. Solar Flare to the backside. Flash ball for Invictus for the Shy. As he continues to Drake count step, the lacerating slash. Gets a lot of damage. Good charm will buy some damage. It's already a triple kill to Gala. As the rest of the fight goes wrong. 4 dead for FPX. Invictus Gaming back in control.
Now, I'm not going to call this game clean, folks. There's anything from it, but I think IG might have just broken the game here. They'll get themselves the Baron after this point, and FPX somehow, while we're going through that replay, find themselves losing members left, right, and center. Shadow picked off very easily in what I see as useful. I suppose Care is still on the top side of the map looking to use that. Maybe FPX can be the ones to get some cross-map pressure now.
Here comes the Weaver's Wall. Assume gets on the other side, but it will leave this inhibitor turret out to dry. No real way to defend this. Cat doesn't even get to auto that tier 2, gets the wave shoved in, but that is it. Feels he's going to have to recall now, or the game is going to be in a really tricky position. The Shy jumps forward onto Sheer, and Breakout steps over. He's actually gone very deep to do that. I think he's just dead.
Whoa, that's a huge change now, because it means that FPX can outlast the Baron.
Good question, guard. Shadow stays alive. Does manage to get out now, but the other side, the equalizer lands onto Rookie. The depth charge after will force the Zhonya's. Gala still waiting for an angle to go on in. There's the locket shield. Damage back. They lose 2. Assume's still alive. Back into the air. Gala trying to find an angle. Gets a Q. The Acanthian raid comes on down. Care misreads the charm, but Shadow going on forwards. Gala trying to play it out. Goes Golden himself. Shadow surely needs to back away or get a Acanthian raid. Last auto comes on through, and they bring down the Kai'Sa.
I'm just going to reuse a line we used earlier. With this, Ahri build is quite good at kind of brawling on ult cooldown and getting some big damage. The Dragon's going down. This is Infernal Soul, remember?
Gets into the pick. Pressing guard, knocks Mako onto the other side. Eats down left Shadow in danger. Soul secured. As Invictus Gaming now continue the fight. The Shy to the backside onto Assume, who's doing a lot of damage. Flash from Dwayne, trying to find an angle. Depth charge comes on through. JJ Flash, Q ult! Brings down Desire, but the rest of the fight is still really messy. The Shy trying to repudiation and heal his way on through. Omnivamp is absolutely unreal, but it's still not enough. FPX lose the soul, but wipe Invictus Gaming.
I think with the death time is in 6 scrubs, they want to end the game. They have a minion wave. FPX once again through this Nautilus and the Ahri have absolutely shut down the carries. Rookie and Gala could not play the game. I think FPX can end it.
They come back on in with the home guard buff. They're going to try. 25 seconds on Gala, 20 on Rookie. Your wave clear will not be here. I think you're right. I think they could do it. Who needs an AD carry? You've got 6 scrubs.
Oh, they're really trying. 9,000 kills and 15,000 kills respectively for organizations. Both hit within the game. FPX, they're looking to just end the whole game.
It's gonna end
the whole game.
You said it earlier. You can throw around soul. Everyone fights so hard. And FPX will equalize Rookie. Trying to stop the Nexus going down. Hang on. It finally falls. They can't defend, and Invictus Game
playing a little bit around with those flexes.
Maybe mid. Does someone need to give Ambition a call? Where are we? That might be.
Okay, just order once we deal with that as Jet out for an angle, flash mount up from Mako, puts Assume into
a wonderful double shattering strike, and Assume dies for first blood. Much better early 3v3 from IG.
And Shadow's just completely off the map. Now we'll be able to smite one of the others away and hopefully get 2 for 1 on the scoreboard for IG.
Dwayne and Assume though have got the early shove because Nico and Misfortune really can just do that. Get grab number 2.
Smite was used by Shadow, so there should be a smite skill for JJ can get him range.
Being body blocked, they don't want to overplay it. Will hop away, tries to burn some cooldowns, and into the backline goes that side of Care, who does finally fall. 1 for 1 as it stands. Carly gets 1, Aurora gets the other.
FPX do get the 2 grubs as well, as we were saying just before that. So FPX get a lot of good value out of this.
Yeah. Thresh with the box.
Yep.
And Rel with the R.
Huh.
I can see both being good.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's okay. Wow. You know, I thought you were going to come in and join me on this. No.
Sam, I'm just not as big a Jujutsu Kaisen enjoyer as someone who might appreciate the reference. It's more, you know.
Okay. I just think you've been entertaining.
Right? As well. Has the root still available, chooses not to use it.
I wonder whether those tangle barbs might come on through.
Doesn't. Sonic Wave just wide. Clearly not interested in that particular track. It's not TikTok viral enough. Getting a bit of a crash down coming on through. Never mind that as Nico goes up. That'll count as a domain expansion as the bullet time comes on through. Damage onto Mako is assassinated by Care. They blow JJ as well, and FPX suddenly with 3 kills on the board.
IG was so dominant in their group.
The light coming on forward still gives Care free time to start shoving up here. Let's have a look at how this play starts. JJ and Mako wanting to come in contest. Go forwards and assume the all-in just doesn't work as Dwayne gets the ult off before it happens.
Dwayne wants to kick the Nico out before the damage can come through, but doesn't manage to get that timing off either, so they have to ends up going down for free basically, and IG picked off again. Mako used that flash in the last play, doesn't have it to escape here.
How was he there? I guess he was looking for wards and got punished for it. JJ does at least get the dragon while all that's happening though.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was that you had JJ and the Shy both down on bot side, so he thought he was on the strong side of the map. Technically, he was. He gets down, so we get ourselves a bit of a dive here, which is why Sheer ends up backing off. 5 grubs for FPX will mean they kill towers quicker. They should take this first, especially with the teleport from Nav going up towards that top side as well. Wants to be there for the tower gold.
and leaves the potential danger in bot side away. Gonna try and trade out, but it should still be with the 5 grubs first turret to FPX. That's the feats of strength 2 as a result. Just gaming behind the curve here this game.
They are, and they don't have a second dragon to their name yet, which will
I
cause...
just wanted to come back in and say that was indeed built. And we have got first items in general being completed. The Bloodthirst is in for the Misfortune. The Rocket Belt has been long done for care. And honestly, Shadow's had that Sundered Sky for a while as well. I think next dragon, next Herald might be where we look to see some of those items part 2 getting completed.
Potential play on the bot side. Jeje finds going to care. They don't see Jeje. He might get kicked under turret, and indeed he is.
Oh, nice turnaround, but he's still got a perfect execution part 2. Flash for the pounce and the takedown. Finally secures the kill onto Care, who did have flash but didn't burn it there. Jway's turned up, but he's now in danger himself. Will Pop Blossom onto the Lee Sin will go down. Sorry, onto the Nidalee, I apologize, who will go down. So it ends up being the 1-for-1, all things said and done.
Yeah, no, Care just didn't spot out Jeje in that brush. Jeje, good play there to make sure that Care didn't have any mobility remaining. Already ended up going in with the ult and the E. Didn't have enough escape with just the perfect executions finale to get out of that play. So FPX stumble a little bit, but they do pick up an even played shit with 5 grubs on a side lane. Will still get more value
And
onto
Starfall, a lot of ability to respond in short order from FPX, so you'll have to pick their moment well.
Dragon up and available. IG would like to get a second one down, of course. See what Soul's on the table. Spear land on the blind one.
Ooh, Hextech.
Hextech Soul. Okay, that's an important win condition for IG. If they can get themselves another dragon, another one on top of that. So it works. We're going to get 4 of them. FPX playing around those side lanes, of course, can maybe look to force. Well, Care's going in with the Pantheon ult now behind him.
Ooh, and there's the Rocket Belt into the Shuriken flip and perfect execution combo. Care picks that one up, and the Shy just can't run far enough.
Jeje's going to come here. Has the ultimate, has the flash. How much did he do?
Teleport behind as well. They've gone very deep. Let's remember, still a kick away. Shadow in danger. Gets hit by another Sonic Wave. Trying to trade this one out. TP comes on in. Rookie would love to be donated this kill, and likely will do so. The Aegis Assault and the Sundered Sky healing is decent.
Most important thing here, though, FX trade 1-for-1, but they have the 5 grubs and they have the Gnar in a side lane. So you have 2 choices here. Gala's going to walk over, I suppose, to try and wave clear. Okay, now this is okay. I was wondering whether Sheer would get alone time on the turret because of the mid wave not to be so easy for FPX, because Gala still has ult 2, would stop Sheer from walking up and hitting that tower. FPX would have loved to hit tower with the 5 grubs. IG find a place with their waves in mid and top lane.
FPX with the Herald and time in mid lane.
And that's important, remember, 5 grubs, the Herald will start to charge in, use the Nico clone to tank him an extra tower shot, why not? Turret goes down, nothing lost from FPX.
Not burn a Rocket Belt cooldown, that's about it. Ooh, what a cooldown to burn, I know.
So, kept safe in that side lane. Almost got that Rocket Belt cooldown back up. I know, it's such a long time since he ended up blowing that one on the side lane.
Yeah, bot side though. Shy getting a big chunk on the Sheer, who's not enjoying this 1v1 start.
Shadow's ult, he's going to come in.
Looks for that play. Anyway, gets the kill before Shadow turns up. You'll take a 1-for-1. Their flash is just before the auto comes flying through anyway. Shadow gets the kill and the Shy can't quite escape.
Yeah, nasty damage from the Shy. Has the Sundered Sky, I believe, on this recall now. She might have been having that one just beforehand, but Shadow not quite there in time to link up with Sheer, so the Mega Gnar rather, even gets killed by the Nidalee. Even the tankier form can't change that.
Breathe. There we go. See you all there cowering in chat. Wondering what, I wonder. Will you escape the coming games?
Yeah, let's talk about the Halo 3 monologue from the main villain of the original trilogy.
It's such a good speech.
Atacon being taken, Dragon not spawned on the other side. FX, what could they transfer this into? Hang on, Gala's going forward to the Ghostblade. Sheer needs to be a little careful. Needs
Giving
to...
this up.
They are. Well, they were trying to force a big play onto the Gnar. Jeje could have jumped and gone for a flash kick into the Varus ultimate, not much on the ensuing fight.
Don't. They've not taken Dragon either. The resets come on through, and it looks like that will now be the next port of call for FPX, but it's not exactly the highest value Voracious Atacon. It's always one of those buffs, especially with it being so temporary, that does require you to push to get value out of it, get involved with the game to get value out of it. And if IG just don't want to play, get a bit trickier. They're going to try for the steal with the Q, but not quite in time. Gala was around. There will be no Varus angles this time, no Kumayushi style Varus steals. Instead, we see the Shy continue to shove on out. Mako now in danger, needs to think about crashing down out to safety. Could do so over the wall and does so as JJ is also around there taking Krugs.
JJ's got that Black Cleaver now. Good amount of HP, good amount of survivability. Shadow does have the GA still. This is a long play for him, though.
Gets kicked under turret now as well. The Aegis Sort comes all down in Shadow. Buddy, pal, friend. 10 seconds left on the Atacama, but they won't wait for that withdrawal to put timeout. Will then fall away as the tier 1 falls bot side. The Shy, though, I believe, got a bit of a trade up.
Really gunning for this Rel. Easier to pick off roaming support than some of these other members. The level 14 Nidalee compared to level 19 Rel's very different. Here come all of the tools, though. Care goes in with the ults.
Shy in potential danger, hops away, kick. But puts a Care into perfect execution range. Can't get the shutdown on the Shy though. Nice Megadar though. Puts JJ into the wall and they lose a jungler. Magna Storm after. Will turn a lot of damage onto the Between Worlds. Comes on through for Rookie. Rocket Pal into the pop. Blossom, Rookie in danger, trading out with Care, who has to flash out, can't get the empowered auto. It's messy stuff again. Mako in danger, gets a Shattering Strike, but Shadow will throw a Comet Spear into the back of the Rel and bring them down. It's a 2-for-1, just about for FPX.
The misfortune
Points coming on down, and again, it was Lee Sin, which again, pretty mercurial in those 5v5s, and JJ's not had the best time on that champion despite being known for it.
Yeah, definitely point taken too. The Lee Sin also has issues here. Both of them very hard, high floors they need to reach to have value in these team fights. So this top jungle, the Shy JJ, needs to have a good showing here. Did you have a vision blackout right now? The Nico clones helping gain some vision. Nars going to teleport just into that mid lane. FPX will have to reclaim the territory.
Care had to back away actually, ended up taking a bit of damage from the Shy, so that's not bad. TP now behind, looking for an angle on him, but Mako will take the opportunity to step off forward. They've blown up Pantheon. The turnaround though with the bullet time, and the Mega Knight is pretty fouled. They lost the jungle. Care now looking for the angle onto Rookie. Goes golden for a second. Burn onto Sheer, but the Comet, rather, not enough to bring him down. Pounces forward, gets another, but all the while, look at Care onto Gala, trying to trade this one out, does get that one around. It's a very close, scrappy affair again. I fumbled a word or two, but it's...
Well, Care misses a Q, doesn't have his ultimate. He actually misused his E and a couple of Qs onto the Zhonya's Rookie as well in an important moment. Dragon is still up and available, worth noting. Wasn't taken, that's a great burst combo!
There we go. Aurora picks up Dway. Nice kick from JJ with the insect. And that's an important pick off. That'll get them to Soul Point. IG get what they need.
Big moment. Well, we asked questions about JJ and the Shy. And JJ comes away with a great kick after the Shy had a good team fight before that. FPX not able to... Level 16 not hit by the Pantheon for the increased ult distance. Well, the increased passive shred and then also the distance as well.
Also note that Assume has not gone for an Infinity Edge Force, has gone towards that GA as well, just to try and deny some of that initial burst. Sheer actually not enjoying this 1v1 at all. Meganar coming through, though, might turn this around. Mega into the wall! The Shy's dead! No, he's not! Flashes away, and the flash in turn finally secures it.
A 2,500 gold lead cannot win the 1v1 for the Shy. Isn't that much like how he started the day? Lost with the Varus against the Volibear, even with 1.5k gold advantage. And FPX find themselves their side lane opening. Sheer can recall, teleport back to the play, and the Baron is on the table. 3 minutes until the Dragon. FPX, if they get this, set up the map so well for that all-important objective coming up soon.
Sheer reset, TP's in, now in a great spot. Over the wall goes JJ, but it will surely be spotted. Got a blast cone to work with, misses his Q. Now into the red buff, but it means he's not in there to try and start fighting. That's another Q. It's onto Shadow, who's very low. GA Baron stolen while the jungler is reviving.
JJ saves the game for Invictus Gaming, and FPX let the Lee Sin kill their jungler. And while he's in a minute, now IG gets to do the same to them.
Needs to be wary, gets shield vaulted, tries to get out between worlds and does so.
Dway misses the flash ult in the middle of that too, and now gets caught with the Gala ult.
Could be a lot of damage back. They flash back on forward. Shadow continue to look for an angle. And JJ's got really deep. Bullet time came on through, had to flash back out. But now they got danger onto Sheer. Gets a Mega, but it's only on the Mega. Not the biggest option. Grand Starfall into the back. Miles and miles away. Assume though, still very scary. Invictus Gaming low. How much damage can they do here as Shadow clears out the way, but he's split apart from the team. I think they're leaving him out to die. He will break the Baron shove somewhat though, because he cleared the way.
Shy's gonna come through and get invested in the kill too. FPX fumble the play on top side. Dway misses the flash ult to try and...
With Hex Soul on the likes of a Nidalee, on the likes of a Varus.
That is pretty devastating for FPX. From such a commanding position after that solo kill from Sheer onto the Shy to now, big change. IG They've somewhat clutched this out. They've definitely clutched this out, actually. The Baron. It is also 38 minutes. Hextech Soul for IG.
Yes.
There's no Baron buff left for them. That's off now. They get to shove in. They don't have the 5 grubs which FPX have, but FPX can't actually side lane anymore, realistically. Here comes the Pantheon. It's not side lane, it's a full-on team fight.
Get a bit of CC back to make a lands a Shadow and Strike, but now Care on an angle looking to come across here. Lands a decent angle, and they're going to get people caught in the crook pit! Invictus Gaming get whacked in there. They'll turn it around as the Shy goes down, gets walloped and crunched. JJ now in a 1v3. The back end of this play's got nowhere to go. And FBX 5-4.
Insane collapse from Fun plus Phoenix. IG are not respectful of the Pantheon ults and the hard engage coming through from FPX. It is a 4-for-2 overall, and that'll break the spine of the pressure which IG have. Remember, 5 growths from FPX take a lot of towers very quickly, but more importantly here, they'll get themselves the Baron. And that means that IG, now they're the ones who have to deal with the map pressure against them. Oh my god, it can't happen again like this. Another great mid to late game for IG, potentially thrown out the window by one big important fight.
How did that happen? They got stuck in the crook pit and didn't want to flash out. They knew the Akali was on the other side, but like, you both got popped in a second.
This is ridiculous. Dragons that you have taken previously in the game. FPX, if they're on it, they have slight advantage.
They've got the Hextech gate, so respawns and resets are a lot more available. Sheer. The wave shove bot. TP back in, doesn't want to spend time Hex gate.
The Shy. Serve on the flank. Remember, there's nearly not the best team fighter here. Comes Shadow. Where's he going with this? He's going straight into the play. Here comes Shadow.
Gets onto Gala, who does cleanse away. Shadow in danger, trying to get on out. They're going for the Pop Blossom. Lands onto multiple members. GA goes on down. Into the backside goes Care, looking for an angle. Can't quite do it. The Sheer looking for Rookie, who manages to win. He has to save Mako in danger. Dway on the other side. GA now popped on Asu, who's going to come back alive. Elder's still going. Needs to be taken. Secured by Shadow. Asu falls, but is 2 dead on both sides. Look at the Shy though. Can look for a javelin toss. Blind, can't quite land it onto Shadow.
But it's not a clean fight. It's not a clean win. Win the game in that next fight. Had the GA, had such a big gold advantage, was full build, had the boot, feats of strength boots as well. Doesn't deliver on that promise to his team. Shadow going forwards. They do still have that Elder for a minute and start to push in. They have the 5 grubs, so they should be able to take, hopefully, an inhibitor for FPX fans. I don't think IG will want to give a true fight to them.
No, they do still have that Elder. That is a big, big deal. Not clean win of the Elder, but they did still get it. And of course, that was off killing off JJ. That was what Asum and Shadow really traded their lives for.
Because the Baron's gone. FX don't even. This sucks. Really afraid. I mean, they have the Hextech Soul to be afraid of. Charging up the Mega on the bot side. Where can he teleport into? You can teleport into the jungle behind them, and that might be exactly what he does.
Look for the fight after Shadow steps on forward onto the side. Not that much damage, but that means Elder's just not. Elder Baron is now secured. To what end, though?
Meganar's coming in.
They're going to try and play this one out. Meganar nearly there. Care lands a Shuriken flip. In comes Shia! Looking for angles, kicked away from the potential slam into the wall. Gets one back, but it's only on the JJ. Dway goes in. Pop Blossom up. Trying to get the JJ, who hops over the wall into the between worlds. It's a 1-4 as soon brings down the jungler. They lose Mako too. Rocket Bell onto Gala. Gets slowed down. Looking for the big Hummer strikes. The Shy gets the Sterex shield. Shadow in danger. Each of the soul comes on down. And they blow up the Pantheon. 2-for-2 again in these fights.
FPX really not cleanly executing on these flanks. Care misses his E and can't get the clean kills. There is potential cleanup coming through. But I think the Shy's low enough HP that, folks, we are well and truly into the late game. We are almost cresting 90,000 gold per team. IG get themselves the Baron. But you have to wonder whether FPX could have played that out better.
Here and wave clear in the way they can. I think Invictus Gaming might be claiming our first inhibitor of the game. How far do they want to push?
Well, with the arrows like that, it becomes a lot easier. Good accuracy from Gala. We criticized him earlier for his 1 death of the game. It was very, very important. However, the rest of it has been sterling from Gala. Use the spell shield. That comes through.
There's the wave. Deny that one, but it means you don't have that. It has to cleanse the Hextech slow.
No, he cleansed the Varus ult spread because it landed onto the Narp and you weren't too close to it. Had to go out of that one. So cleanse for free. I think Shea was trying to body block for him. Doesn't actually end up achieving the result he wanted.
Second inhibitor turret now under siege. 15 seconds on Dway. No big ult, really. FPS want to burn again unless they're going for the full fight. Losing that bullet time already kind of sucks. Just have to give up 2 inhibitors.
All right, roll up. Might be one last act in this circus. Assume has good damage, but how much can you get through? He doesn't have that bullet time. It's really bad having that down. Here we go.
Care goes in, looks for an angle. The Magnus Storm back. That means Care just dies. As Gala, still alive, Chains of Corruption, comes back off cooldown, and he stays in one piece. Out of the GAs we go. As Zoom trading with the Shy and losing to the solo lanes of the World Championship team in 2018. Rookie and the Shy bring low misfortune. We're going to game 3.
50 minutes. All
I'm chatting to some of the Mobstar Koi boys. They were sort of saying that sometimes the way they view Rakan is not necessarily
the Arn Vampire bot lane. I mean, Arn, I think, really pulled his weight there, don't get me wrong. That team was fun, but never really getting anywhere. FPX had Milk. I think that's very close there in mid lane. You know, FPX, when they had Milkway in the jungle, we thought something special could happen. Jeb, looking into mid lane, could flash Q. How much damage can you do here?
Flash Q with the red buff, I think would do him in. That's a lot of damage and just burns out. Good call, Alex.
That cat doesn't manage to see the danger coming.
Yep. W is just W.
I've had to teach a lot of casters over the years that it's slicing Maelstrom, not slicing Maelstrom. Because Maelstrom is a specific kind of storm. It's a sea storm.
Yeah.
Flashing forward. Jeddah, no flash from him. The mid lane kill.
Back into the river we go. There's no slicing Maelstrom around here. As a look for that. Permafrost on down onto the Lilia. Not quite in range. And she's got enough speed from the Blooming Glows to get out to safety. The Shy, though, slicing and dicing. Just about safe. In comes the stun. He'll be alright for now. Is they just about survive the dynamic down.
He does just about not survive the tower. Shadow goes down. He doesn't go in for the last bit of damage either. Not even sure he could have been able to force kill there either. And JJ, on a Lilia he has done so much work on, is now ahead of the game. That is very scary.
There's Icing Maelstrom traded out with the Dominus. The Shy looking to get a heal with the culling of the Meek, and does so.
Has Flash coming up now, and Jeddah just took Dragon. Sheer is, I mean, we were saying we were praising Sheer for his lane.
Yeah, the answer is this game is very close, is the honest answer. We don't know.
The thing
is very tight.
And based off of what we've seen in the shows going forward, he has a lot of teammates coming here too.
Soon just about okay. Down to half HP though. The Swell Seed landed, but it's only really onto the Brawl. The turnaround as the arrow comes on through onto Mako. Does manage to battle down to safety. The Glacial Fish around for the main makes it very tricky. Down goes Rakan, but the Lilting Lullaby makes it a 1-for-1. And no, Rakan doesn't fall. He got out. Trying to get the last auto down, and the Shy falls instead.
I really wonder whether Cat could have flashed for that last auto. Chooses not to. Down from JJ, and then you can get the reset on your jump. Does get the Buster Shot as Care. You could have Buster Shot, of course, for next and back into his team as well. So Care, not the best execution. Grubs are starting to go down.
4 over FPX. Now when they lose one back, this overcomes Rookie on behind his soul. There's the fifth. The W lands onto Dway, but a
Sheer!
Finds a slicing motion from the backside, and they lose Mako. Finally, turnaround comes up through those. Gala begins to open up Shadow desperately low. Care and the backline of FPX knocked up by Rookie. Deadly Flush flashed away from Care, but they've opened the curtains. Triple kill for Gala.
A team fight of 3 acts, a slow opening, Sheer speeding it up, and Gala slamming it home to leave it in availably. IG, I don't know whether they should have... Hang on, arrows coming through. We'll shut up about that. Is it going to land? No.
Oh, it does! Good read. Now he's in danger. Into the Winter's Bite, looking for that last order and gets the kill. Nice combo from FPX.
I'm going way too early on calling these arrows, man. I thought, oh, it's definitely not going to hit. Reads the ping back because Care's got a great trade. Rookie goes down, and the 5 grubs mean that Care can take this first turret in the top side.
Dragon spawns in about 5 minutes. Did look like the second one went the way of IG. The Shy will be able to trade out on this bot side turret as well, but the marker for feats of strength will still be FPX's now. We're trading for objectives. Of course, IG only need 1 more, whereas FPX would need 2, but worth noting that neither team claim those feats of strength.
This has been cinema League of Legends, and we talked about this in the early game, but they're trying to build something more than their last few years, where they struggle on an individual level. This is quite an important game for both teams. The fact that it's gone to 3 games, I think IG, given how good they looked in placements, will not be happy with. Arrow goes through, plans force from Gala.
Shadow won't throw down his own ultimate as yet, as Mako looking to body block. Rookie gets that turret in the top side, so both side lane turrets now fallen. As Care will look to try and trade out on the other side, of course, with the 5 grubs into Tristana. This should be relatively doable. Standing nearer to the wall to be able to hop away to safety, but Mako being around makes this a bit of an interesting one. Glacial Prison is well wide by Shadow.
Ah yes, the rarely seen Xmithy. Long may he reign. Shit, has double blocks on top side. 2 levels down on the other solo lanes. Really struggling in that matchup ever since that top jungle synergy went against them.
Sheer individually played that ball in the early stages, but here come the teleports flying, hop away from Care, but they're going to turn this around with the dominance in the ground.
The tower.
Buster shot away on 2. Turret does finally fall, but now Sheer being around will force a flash off the Shy.
Rookie has ult. He could go for something bigger here. Gala 1v1 with Assume.
Can't find that Fate Seal. They're trying to back away as the permafrost is building up on top of him. You have to check every time because it's a different icon because of the skins.
While all of this is happening, Herald's going to be summoned in mid lane, goes slammed into that mid lane turret. They don't have the growth, but they do have a big old mother to help them take down that tower. IG take that one. And FPX, I guess, don't get everything they want from that bot side. They would have liked to kill on top of the tower itself. IG, with the feats of strength, with that Herald take, be happy with how that worked out for them.
Absolutely, and they claim the turret for turret on that one. They're still actually ahead of the turret game just about. Jhin is Giga strong at this point, into 1.5 items. Rookie and the Shine not miles behind either. And yes, of course, you've just got the Flicker Blades completed for Care, and that's great news. But you are still in a bit of a weird position, especially now you're losing some of the safety of these structures. The ability for IG to start running you down and having moments like this, where Fate Seal will be paired up with the Curtain Call, and the dancing feet are swiftly stopped.
No more tap dancing anymore, Dwight. Had a fantastic
Yours can no longer die. They're taking up too much living space.
I think that's a real problem. You know, I think these are the issues that we should be talking about here in League of Legends.
How does it take to hit critical Yordi?
Well, only Zillion knows at the end of the day. He's looked into the future. Maybe that's what he's looking to in the future. Dragon's gonna go down.
Either.
Look, the highlight's gonna look so strange because we're talking about freaking Yordle overpopulation. Tower going down potentially to half HP. The top side cat jumps out.
Do you think?
Hang on, he's caught out now. This is a problem.
What is going on?
Well, this is how we deal with Yordle overpopulation.
We can't kill them. He can't die. He Buster shots away. Deadly Flourish lands though, and Tristana is brought low by the Jhin.
Will be respawning back in Bandle City. Shadow caught up by Rookie. Does have an ult if he wants to lock him up again, and will do. Where's the follow-up?
Well, see just why, but the Deadly Flourish comes on through. Flash with a 3-man Blooming Blow lilting lullaby comes on in. Shadow just about alive, but no, he's not, as a flash comes on forward for Gala. He now unleashes the curtains, take up our FPX. Jhin is here to give you your plaudits. A double kill over to the AD carry from Invictus Gaming.
Assume lucky to get out alive. This has been the best snowball from IG so far. You can tell with this composition, they're forcing fights much more confidently. Everyone has a go button. I think the Shy doing very well individually to stop shit.
Courtesy of Tristan, it's a very unfun present. It's not like a great present. It's like a meme present. It's not the little elf Tristana, which really does drop very meme presents. This one's like a evil Tristana, but we're going back over towards the Avatar and away from conversations on the morality of various skin lines. Shadow potentially position to steal.
God, it's so fed, man. How do you deal with a 7-kill Jhin at this point of the game? There's a teleport coming through. This might be a last hurrah. Here comes Rookie.
Down to 10% HP. They get a decent chunk on the other side. Hang on, they pulled up Mako, get one back. That's at least a decent pickup. Down to 2,000 HP.
Smite fight.
He stole it! What about the rest of the fight after the Shadow nowadays? The TP's come flying on through. Reminder, Mako is already down. The Shy has been rooted in place. Gala trying to find an angle. They're looking for Sheer in the backside. Gets onto Gala. That's how you deal with a 7-kill Jhin. Fakes out to the backside. Rookie at least gets one, but look at care of this side. Buster shot out to safety. What is going on in this game?
Rookie's gonna get the Q. Might look to continue the fight. Care is the last remaining big damage source. JJ, one last swell so you can turn it for him. The Shy comes through.
Ruthless Predator, look at the back end of JJ. Lands the watch out here for the Q.
IG clean the fight, even though they lose the objective. IG, at least they'll get some of the flowers. FX, sadly for them, won't get the GA off of it. It's the ruinous kind, and that doesn't mean they can win. Worth noting, though, that FX do still get the big grub bonus now. They basically have six-ish, 6 and a bit grubs. You know, a quarter of 5 is 1 and a bit, so it's about 6 and a bit now overall. Because you get the 25% bonus from... You get a it's a grub. Dragon started up. This would be soul for IG, and that wing, they would be very happy for the Shine on the flank. Do they have flashes? Well, we got one on JJ. That could be very helpful.
Shadow as well. He's already stolen the objective. Out comes the arrow. Lands onto Mako. Can they turn it into something a bit more? Yeah, that regard is gone. Slicing Maelstrom into the backside. Only really onto JJ though, but that's potentially really valuable if you kill off the jungler. Look at the other side though. The Shy is winning 1v3. Finally falls. Dragon secured though. That's Soul. It's a 2v2 right now. In goes JJ. Looking for the lilting lullaby. Finds it, but can't hold it up too much. With the deadly flourish. Gala goes in. Gets 2. It's a quadra for him. He can't make it. The Penta as care cuts him down in his prime.
carries the end of the fight, going towards Rookie again, but the W saves him. It's a little bit difficult for IG to close down both AD carries. The double AD carries from FPX doing a lot of work. Gala very nearly gets himself the full, clean sweep of that number, but he wants to add one more. Oh, Munchables, you wordsmith, you missed that bloke, I do. FPX back out onto the map, have to play against that Cloud Soul, of course, which is not nice when they will get to close down gaps even more. Dangerous now to really buy into fights you can't run away from.
Gold lead, Soul. Pretty good spot for IG. Of course, they've given up a few things here and there. A pretty ugly fight. The Atacam was stolen. All these things. So FPX got a tool or two to their name. Again, this cannon. 2.5 items can still threaten the backs. Of course, the early lane advantages have all but dwindled to nothing.
The game will be thrown away from a big objective. I think it will happen at an objective if it's going to happen. It might be the Baron, it might be the Elder. We shall see if it lasts the Elder. Mako has Flash, has a teleport coming from behind, and Mako might actually get a clean team fight for the first time this game.
Looking for an angle. Is now spotted. The double control wards behind. Dwayne gonna try and find some space. Turn around and sheer into the backside. Onto Gala! They've killed off Jin. No, they haven't, because the heal from Mako keeps him alive. He's not in the fight, though, critically. Look at Rookie. He's stacking up the Q to try and find a way over the wall. They've blown up Sheer. Now the curtains are called. FPX did everything in their power to try and kill Gala. But if you're going for the Penta King, you best not miss.
The throw happens around the big objective. FPX cannot contain the flanks this time, and IG will seal their first victory here in Group Ascend on day one of this phase of the competition.
It has been anything but clean. It has been heart-wrenching, heart-pounding, cardio disaster of a series for both teams. It has been wonderful to watch. It isn't over quite yet. They'll get the inhibitor and they'll back off towards the Baron. They feel with the Zoom coming up in a couple seconds, it would be a little too much to overforce.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't go for the end of the game. So, IG just have to kind of grin and bear it.
At this point, you surely think there is no way IG can throw this game. And yet, been here this series and say, I have to hold that statement in doubt. Mako jumped on a little by Shadow, is the Shy, is playing that inhibitor in mid lane, or rather has got that wave shot in the mid lane. He's been jumped on, takes a lot of damage, has a redemption coming, gets a heal, gets to dice away. And despite everything thrown at him, it means so very little. Invictus Gaming will take the second inhibitor in bot lane.
Yeah, and at any time they can now peel back and go towards Elder. They don't even have to if they don't want to. Running up for more damage, Curtain Call's coming through, just looking to get as much damage as possible.
Into Act 3 of this series, and Jin, rather, would love to end this one here. We assume murders Mako. He's had a few unfortunate deaths this game. Can't end now, actually, I don't think, as a result of losing a member.
No, the 4v5, you can't go to what... You can't start the Elder now, certainly. Yeah, Gal's very, very strong. Has the Infinity Edge. Swift March as well for the extra movement speed. They know that he's not the Dway. You've got to be careful, man.
Oh, my days. Gets away with it. Rookie over the wall. Has his damage proc, though. Just about gets a kill, but goes 1-for-1. That's your mid laner for a brawl?
Messy stuff from IG. Both Mako and Rookie taking in turns to kind of die in quite unceremoniously. Means that once again they're outnumbered for the upcoming Elder setup situation. I don't think FPS can push outside of their base and take this. But IG put themselves at risk.
So lanes to feel pretty okay, even if Jin does fall, as long as FPX burn a lot to do it. For FPX, that needs to be a big slicing maelstrom. She needs to find a good arrow. Once again, lands onto Mako, just disappears.
That's been the play. Destroy the engager. Gal, there's also a chance of a double teleport for the back door. This could be very, very dangerous.
They get on top of the dragon. Slicing maelstrom doesn't really lead to all that much. Sheer's in danger. Dragon stolen by TJ. Game is done. Invictus Gaming in the 4v5 will still find the Elder, still find the win. Care runs, but to no avail. Rookie with a triple. It's over.
Jeje's Lilia strikes again. The Dragons secure a 5,000 damage team fight and only one death in the game. IG will finish out our first series of Group Ascend 2-1 over Fun plus Phoenix.
I apologize for the heart attack.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Galio just doesn't take damage. Just gets walked out by a full overheated Rumble. Whether he's hitting anyway, for all of the magic of the shred, just doesn't matter. Guy just goes to the stumble layout where will stop off and then either a headbutt or a pole ball. Make it into a nasty, nasty piece of work.
Overplay that possibly.
Even solo queue, you see, ooh, stuns, I can go forwards on that, and that gets problematic, but that kind of thing starts to happen as Feather now gets to back away. Turnaround damage onto On is also pretty huge. Can Elk find a double up? Doesn't need it, just flashes for a straight auto. Now 1xN in slight danger, but overcomes setup. If he can find the ult and the flash, I think this will be a dead Elk. Does have the cleanse, needs to work this one around. Just gets the autos down.
Cleanse doesn't stop damage, sadly.
Yeah.
And BLG, good CV2, but one of our critical issues with this lane. Right in the two.
Horrors happen as bot lane. Might also
Setup.
be experiencing horrors.
Yeah, he has ult. Is there anyone? There's 4 people set up. You
He's
can't
so
be positioning
dead.
here. I don't know about this. Do they have the teleport from Galley? You need to pull in the teleport now if you're going to come at all.
Flashes, but it's into a bullet time. There's nowhere to go. Dies. No real response.
You would have to teleport early from Hoya. Doesn't.
Now a big CS lead in this mid lane. 30 up is Knight. About one wave from the roam. And then, of course, the Ari dying end of the Terra 1. Dragon started. BLG in position.
They are, and they're quite strong at this point. Set up on the flank, though. Does he want to go for something? Misses the charm.
Shouldn't be looking to get something with the ult, but to what end? Over the wall goes base one, but gets stunned up by On. Seismic shove goes wide though, flashing for the crescent guard.
Very
Doesn't find an
aggressive.
guard. Can look on the other side. Wave finds an angle. In comes the Galio up with a bullet time after. Not going to be enough. They kill off Wave. Elk now in potential threat. Taunt comes on through to Hoya. Seismic shove on the backside onto Feather, who doesn't die. Pops the ult to deny the damage. It's a 1 kill, but that's about it. All the while, Bin is topside getting a wave shot.
Bin. We'll see if there's a. We're going to get a fight through here. Maybe. No. Oh well, no, there we go.
Yeah, the answer is yes. On gets hit by the chains of corruption, crashes down, will likely die, and On just about surviving, trying to turn it around his way with the turn, with the flash Q and the ult, finds some time, flash away from Knight, and they do get that kill. Headbutt back onto Way though, puts him in danger. Ult back as Way gets so much bloody healing. Sundered Sky is a hell of an item. Setup now caught on the wrong side of the equalizer. Elk flashes on forward, begins to auto double up, comes across, gets that big bullet time angle at the end of it all. Setup gets the charm, but to what end is Hoya caught between 4? In the end, it's a gorgeous fight for BLG.
Don't really know what On was doing at the start of it, but he knew a fight had to happen, I guess.
20% plus another 20% in HP because of the shield.
Yeah, that's why. One of the reasons why I think Conqueror still is the most game-changing rune out there. That just stops you from taking extended fights in the same way. Wait, we'll see the Herald be pulled out here. Knight's roaming up to the plate, has level 2 ult, so it is a little bit longer. Level 2 ult for Bin available too if he wants to pull out that equalizer.
4,000 gold lead at 16 minutes. I don't know how easy this will be for TT to punish Feather. Has the ult popped very early on. Tries to find an angle. On the other side, Hoya with a flank angle. But the bullet time comes across. Knight does finally fall. It's a 1-for-1 right now, and the Herald was also taken. BLG on the retreat, but Beichuan trying to find his way out to safety himself, as I take that as a lie. BLG were looking for blood. Now 1xN caught in the turret as Bin catches out Hoya, who's trying to escape. Will have a blast cone, I think, to get out vaguely to safety. Just as punches away, but look at Way, picks up the eye of the Herald, will likely find a bit of a fight here versus the statue from Demacia. He is going to be shattered. Iconoclasm in the top side. Goodbye, piece of art.
No, BLG, I don't even think that was a perfect team fight for them. I think what's really helping is the fact that the front line, they're big enough, because the front line can't really hold their own after.
And look at the outfits there. They go for this big combo with the Galio, with Ari going forwards, and the bullet time goes
3 long-range carries. Yeah, kind of need the poke anyway. There's no hyper tank, for sure, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be that explosive turnaround that we know that Onivia can have. BLG, open up the map again. Yes, 6 grubs on the
come
side.
Come out in equal measure.
Yeah. I mean, hang on, is that... The thing is, you have Billy Gaming, but they're obviously a very on and off team. What's the evil version of BLG? Is that BLG or is that PLG as we go in with Knight?
Oh boy, here comes the guy who's trying to keep 1xN alive, who does manage to flash Tez over. Here comes On the other side. Beichuan pretty deep as TT try to turn it on the way and get him. That's not great from the side of BLG, but now turn to talk. Beichuan is in danger, finally goes down. Knight in danger though, gets the Seraph shield. Where does Feather go? I think he might be one of those birds of them that might be dying together, but just about managed to flash out to safety. Flying south of the winter, charm onto On, and BLG have overplayed this. Honestly, they are lucky not to be losing more. Hoya, though, now in danger. The equalizer finally pulled as Ari hit with the electro harpoon and is dragged down. Turns out foxes can be harpoon fish too.
Feather fell the combo of the wall partway through that fight.
No.
Pulverized the ground, thought he was in range for the headbutt, just wasn't quite in range, and BLG, they've team fought better. Bluntly, this has been a game of team fights. BLG, yes, they played well around the side lanes, but TT have been shredded in every single major confrontation in this game. BLG, they will slice through the final remaining outer turret. They have themselves sold. BLG have 3 wave clear laners, so that's hard to do. You could have won through the early skirmishes. I mean, they it okay at some points, right? But it just feels like BLG have got all of their win conditions set up so easily.
The Lord Dominance Regards got done before that Atacant fell. You got second item in for Bin as well in that Bloodletter's Curse. It's looking pretty dicey here, all things said and done. And the front line for Thundertalk is not much of a front line. It's a sort of front, you know, afterthought, really. There is not really much of a line. It's a squiggle.
It is a front squiggle.
A front squiggle.
On has flash. You do have the GAs from the Voracious Atacant. I think On can look for a fight, don't you? Dragon up in 10 seconds. BLG might just go towards the dragon itself. Close the shield there. Bin on the flank.
Will be spotted out now, but what can do much about it? Way over the other side onto 1xN. Equalizer comes on down the grand entrance. The hero's entrance buys some time. 1xN kept alive now. Way will likely be dying. Junglers traded, but they've got GAs to work with because, of course, they have the Attic cards. And here comes Alkan Knights. Bullet time. And the Weaver's Wall combined as BLG pull the trigger, knowing they can just withdraw to safety if it all goes wrong. And this is anything but wrong. Great play from the side of Billy Gaming. The base is broken and Thundertalk with it.
Behold, a knight on a pale stag as Alkan Knight fly into the back end of the fight. They'll take the inhibitor. It won't be the game, but I do. They're pushing up too far. This one is actually a case of vision where they can't push up this far and expect to live through it. But as soon as the Varus is down, what do? Yeah, transition towards this push up and towards top lane as well. This is the victory lap.
So many you can do at this point. Ocean Soul, gold lead, the compositions from this perspective, very, very difficult to play. Poor Beige One is still at one item. What do you do as this Shinzo? You are so squishy. You're down 2 levels here as well. 3 relative to the solo lane. You are not a frontline, as we said. It is a squiggle. There is nothing remotely tough with that one as Knight throws down the Weaver's Wall. Bin potentially caught out a little bit here. They try to jump the Rumble. Who gets an equalizer down? There comes the Crescent Guard, and they will likely kill off the Rumble. That's something. Hoya also gets a bounty.
Yeah, still, you're losing so much in your base. Hoya's going a little bit further forward. There's still a bullet time. If you use a lot to kill off that Rumble, you need to be careful of cancels and feather. Basically 0 HP.
Here comes the ult from Galio. Way's gone really deep for this one. Just about survived for now to set up. But to what end? There's a bullet time, as we said. Seismic shove onto the Shinzao. Now Hoya's going to fall as well. Way pulls the trigger and dies for it, but it's just ensuring that TT engage into the play.
TT might have thunder in their name, but BLG, with the Ocean Soul, have the God of Storms on their back. Poseidon helping them out, just turn the tides of the fight. They can force so hard. Second inhibitor will go down. They'll be on to the next threat, and I think TT have been washed away.
Really have. BLG, there were some questions at the end of Split 1. There were some questions, honestly. At the beginning of this split, it wasn't always the cleanest stuff from them. Today, they look locked in, and Thundertalk, a lot more talk than walk, at least in Game 1. It has been a rough showing. The mid-game fell apart. The team fights were challenging. Yone and Bessa all diving on top of someone who gets hit by an enchanted crystalline arrow. That first bit of CC lands, and the person who's hit by it unlikely to survive the follow. It's an overall objective trade. Sure, Beige One. It's on over, starts up the grubs. At least will be a trade on that front. Especially with 1xN and Feather having switched out of that lane early on. You can see what Thundertalk's aim was this game. And again, you've got a Yone and an Ambessa alongside the Ashe, of course. You've got 3 pretty good turret takers there. The Yone in particular, notorious for just unbinding his soul and running at a tower.
Yeah.
Which can be pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, but again, BLG do have good wave clear. It's not quite the Rumble and the DMF in terms of just instant wave deletion, but they do have good wave clear to deny grub value. Typically, BLG have been good at kind of maintaining all of their lanes. Right now, though, 4 versus 2 on the side lane. Tristana just jumped forwards in mid lane and doesn't have teleport. Been teleported towards bot side. There's no help coming here.
No, there is not. This is looking like the big old dive. In comes the public execution, and down goes Elf. Nothing to be done on In Danger. Finds his Zenith blade back, but to what end? In goes Way, looking for a 4-man lilting lullaby, but is immediately buffered. Will get 1 back at the very least.
Something. Knight onto Satav. Satav used his ult already.
Will get to hop over the wall. Stays alive, though, and will
recall now and teleport towards top side. Satav, no ult, no flash, but of course using the cooldowns and on also doesn't help.
On now In Danger, gets hand shook back. Nice timing on that one, and the hostile takeover goes and drags Lilia right back into a glacial prison. Do not pass go, do not pick up 3 grubs. The lilting lullaby comes on down, but unfortunately, the anesthetic is too late to keep it.
Actually, probably
more grub.
They'll get it anyway. Let's be honest. Bin is going to be crushing this lane for forever at this point.
Nice.
It's kind of cool.
look for this last order. Setup really has any real safety on this turret. In fact, did they bomb blow it up by
Jeez,
or was it an auto AoE from the...
No, but the auto AoE it doesn't work like that. What? Damn.
Okay, Setup now in slight danger. Fates call away. He's actually in danger of binding
Oh!
Stolen Knight just finds the solo!
Well, I think some people heard. I think he heard some people talking crap about him for last. Some cooldown of the Untel Wild Arrows is one of the best items in the game for AD carries right now because it actually gives. Hang on a second.
Yep. Ooh, good flash, just about in time. Still not going to be that Fate Sealed used yet, so he can still go down here. The skies goes Bin. Sliding back across, Feather now here. Can he look for a handshake to drag someone back? Misses the loyalty program, starts to get some autos down. He's going to bail out on. How aggressively does Feather want to play this?
Red
handshake, and here comes Bejuan looking for another angle on in. Knocked away from the Winter's Flame.
No way!
No way!
No way!
Get this!
Ben gets a kill on the weak side of the map, technically in a 1v3. Don't give this man chase.
That was an insane thundering blow to knock the Sejuani out of her flail.
That's ridiculous.
Massive work.
That is ridiculous. Got the melee range grasp heal, I think, to make that interesting. The Renata red buff was kind of scary. Gives him that extra heal just about. Gets the last auto back in. Insane damage coming through.
Acceleration of the form change, enough speed as that Bin in a 1v1 with Setup, who gets a spiritually flash into the Fate Seal. Not enough!
He just beat you in a 1v3. What makes you think you can win in the 1v1? Hoya left in a 1v3 and cannot make magic happen there. Bin has turned up to slap. Late too. Bin walks away with a huge amount of damage when the Shojin stacked.
Flashes as the Shock Blast hits. He tries to flash the Shock Blast, misses and does it. And then Hoya's in a pretty rough 1v3 scenario. Back towards Dragon we go. This will be soul point for BLG. It is going to be secured just about 13 HP. It went down to as looking for an angle, can't quite do it. Feather with a wonderful hostile takeover. I mean, Bin eats all of Tristana's autos.
Really bad shape from BLG that you can't engage into Renata without a flank, and that's exactly what happens. You cannot stand in this direction, or the Renata ult will win your fight.
Both AD carries were just autoing their own Jace, which is really rough. Now On's in danger, is about to fall here. There's the Lilting Lullaby of option onto Bejuan. I'm not sure whether they're going to pop it quite yet, but that's the jungler dead. 1 for 1, as all things stand.
Well, he does have flash too, so there was a chance of a flash Lilting Lullaby. In fact, there still is a chance of that too. Watch out for those swell seeds.
Herald.
Watch out for those wrist rockets. BLG siege into the mid lane, and the capture of command post.
Just like the simulations, it's looking like the scrims right here. TT will have to Roger their way to a better
And there
escape.
could be a teleport coming in from Knight, pushing up into that mid lane. Teleport now coming in from Yone. BLG, what's the plan here? Try and stall it for 10 seconds, teleport back in with Knight. There's no Ambassador ult now, no Sejuani ult either.
Try and play this one across. They've got the man advantage. Arrow lands onto Elk, who immediately has to cleanse.
Oh, big shock blast. That could change the fight. That could change everything.
Could potentially some of the backside goes set up, but he only really gets one. The hostile takeover not fantastic, but it's enough to buy time. Can they get out of the pits? The Lilting Lullaby with the setup leaves him out to dry. He dies. Knight over the wall, who has finally come on in. Flash on forward from way on the Lilia, and TT cannot extract from the pit cleanly.
Knight gets a really good cleanup at the end of that. Great damage from BLG towards the back end of the fight. Stop in the back from Hoyer, actually. And now what happens? You have a couple of death timers. Can you go towards the Atakan all the way across the map? Maybe not. You could go towards this bot lane turret. Use the Tristana explosive charge to get some value onto that. BLG don't get a big objective, and they don't get the souls, so it's not everything they wanted, but they do stem the bleeding of what could have been a poor fight.
Taken very deep under the turret. He's the only real front line, but a flash away from Hoyer is still blown, and they do get that tier 2.
Finn is even going to go towards the mid lane too, so they get 2 tier 2s. Okay, giving up a dragon and a kill. It was a shutdown too for Zhonya's. Going towards double needs the large rod instead to just get close towards the death capital. Atakan started up now. Wade doesn't have himself a life, does have that Seekers. Doesn't mean double needs the large rod. Those swirls hurt.
My days, one extend down to half HP, can heal back up a little bit with that Vamp Scepter, but look at the angle back. The Solar Flare, not fantastic on the bench, but they have to pull off the Atakan regardless.
Have they just leashed it? They might have actually just leashed it. This is the Ruinous, makes it easier to tank in melee, but as we saw from 1xn, really not good if you're fighting it from range. Split team now from TT, BLG, they call in the teleport from Bin. Go points. Big cooldown miss from Hoyer.
Looking for Knight would have been a great pick, but actually turning around the way, who's pretty huge as well. Finally gets to go golden, but that is the Seeker's pot. Hostile takeover comes across, flash away from way now as well.
Oh, that does a lot of damage to Bin there. 1xn doing good damage. Remember that Ashe is so powerful.
Fang on found an angle over the wall, looks to Zenith Blade on him. Bejuan just about alive. The Fate Seal gets across a couple, but they don't finish the kills cleanly. On dies, but so does Setup. Hoyer nowhere to go, true shot rush just wide. TT have to reset.
And that's as the Dragon's alive now. That is a problem. Baytron needs to leave. He needs to go back now, and he's not around for a smite. You have so much damage onto the objectives themselves, and Wei can heal up on that so much. This should be Hextech Soul. TT, they might have just flubbed this outcome.
He's finally coming back. He doesn't have flash. He's not going to be here in time. It's too late. The damage is too fast. That's Hex Soul. Thought they found a moment. Hoya's now going to die as well, and Thunder Talk die with a whimper. There is no bang to be found.
Teleports over with the Hex Gates. Baytron's around. They might look for a fight anyway.
Oh boy, this is going to get messy. Look at Elk over the wall as well. He finally starts Arcane shifting in. The bailout through a 1xn cannot find a revive. BLG get the fight and the soul.
Every TT member dead on the floor. BLG will reset, and they will... That's your luxury items, and that's where the gold lead has led to. 7,000 gold has led to a lot of that. Hoyer on the side, maybe looking for an ult over the wall.
Find some more value. USS out of that. Elk buffers well through the arrow again. He's done that very well.
He's on vision. He's on vision. Look, there's that ward sitting there. Here comes the Sejuani up, but they do see Hoyer.
There you go. On to Elk. That's not bad. They can surely kill him. Hostile takeover after is fantastic. On those still alive. You've killed off Elk. What goes a spin into the backside. Comes along with a shock blaster to the skies that will see them going heavenward. A triple kill tonight. See whether they can donate one over to Wei as well. Hoyer trying to get towards things like the waves, you would imagine, but BLG can look to get into the base. They've already got an inhibitor turret down in mid lane. This looks like a night scout for the side of Thunderchalk.
TT find a pick, but that is all they get for the demise of their whole team and the Nexus. Well, I suppose there are 2 solo laners left, but they'll be there just to parade in BLG as they conquer their side of the map.
Baron. Second inhibitor short of 4 after this. So much damage onto the turret.
I think it's the Nexus, not the inhibitor.
Nothing lilting lullabies. Come on down. You're right. It is the Nexus. And BLG make it a 2-0. Bogey team down for the count.
Second series of the day, much quicker than our first TT. Left alone on their Nexus, and a redemption will sadly not be what it is labeled on the tin there. A couple of people die on the fountain, but it will not stop BLG coming right.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Which was gained of it. Top Esports. I suppose not getting the most out of their Kalista. Now Tarzan's fortunate out and put down.
Oh, Tarzan's here, calls the pack, looking to get onto Jackie, who will not be allowed to find a kill there. Now Crisp's in danger, will split himself apart, but to what end? There'll still be another Eviscerate. I imagine another W and a stun coming on through. Kyle Shield vaults in and helps secure another great play from anyone's Legends bot lane.
How do you beat
Top
top
lane, decimating smash the wave. We'll surely finish that one in short order. TES do, however, pick up the grubs. And the Dragon on the other side, likely going to be traded at a very similar timer.
There's Corky. Well, it's a really good video. Anyway, strategy there definitely catches my attention. Strategy is typically one of anyone's Legends better things. Not able to get that next grub there. 4-1 right now. Smite down on Kanavi though.
Stop Tarzan getting on in here. Sounds like an ult from Sion to come join. Kalista helps secure the next one. Fight after. Now gets a bit dicey. TP's coming flying on in from 369, looking for an angle. Oh, Blossom comes onto the backline. Crit. Fate called out to safety. They lose Kyle on the other side. To anyone's like this 369. Now the Queen Roman down as Jackie Love will surely fall. That's a reset. And the Hounds will begin to pursue. Cream, no mana, has to flash over, but Tarzan with the Eviscerate gets onto the other side. 369 drags the Rise into the Death Realm, but a Realm Warp to the other side of the wall, even in the Death Realm, means he survives, and 369 walks out into the rest of anyone's Legend and falls down.
Top Esports don't have a strong Kalista to have a platform around. They were shut down in the laning phase to the point where Top Esports can't rely on Jackie Love carrying all of these early fights. To add insult to injury, Chris missed the Kalista knockup onto Shanks midway through that play. I think Shanks had a fantastic fight himself alongside the rest of it. Doesn't have the HP to be another front line. Top Esports, they don't really get themselves any ability to defend Jackie Love. He was just kind of shredded with no front line in front of him. Here comes Pantheon.
Comes on in with the Grand Starfall. Crisp will be burnt to his namesake. Taken out. That's another kill for Neferi. And double pink water control one onto the blast cone to prevent them using it as well is very nasty. Shanks pulled back towards 369. Just come away from this. Anyone's Legend getting so much value. Kanavi in that last one, remember, missed his impale too as Tarzan just flashed away from it.
Yeah, you know.
Split? So what's going on?
There was one from Broken Blade into top lane Cassandre.
That's true. I mean, like this split.
this split? No, not this one's up already. He had a couple of weeks to it. So hang on, Shanks thought, could be a bit of a problem.
Gets driven into a wall, there'll be an impale after. Flash out with the Merc Tread's value proving too much. Phase rush trying to get out to safety. They're still trying to run onto him. He's gonna realm walk away. No, he's not. Finally gets CC'd in place. As Kyle went looking at the backside, Cream goes between worlds, finds Tarzan on the other side, will hop back on the other side of the Eviscerate. Played away from, nicely played from Top Esports. The problem is, there's still a Hound's Pursuit. Tarzan trying to finally get that reset. Does so. Can now look to use that ult again. Cream low. If he can get in range, could look for that. Was looking for that vision.
Here he goes.
Before that, there he goes in the backside, but doesn't quite have enough damage. The Eclipse shielding is huge though. Will W to try and find some value is finally shut down. But takes one with him. Cream in danger as Hope looks to fire out a few rockets. The Corgi versus the Bunny, and the dog wins that one out, I feel, in the long run.
So Tarzan misplays a little at the end of it. Doesn't quite get himself the Q2 for the healing of that. Shanks has gone towards topside, uses that teleport to set up that top lane well. At least Top East will show how powerful they can be in these team fights if anyone's legend don't have for that tank becomes so obnoxious.
Vision control right now, not fantastic for Top Esports. Navi, Excel's impact is sort of forced away into the river there. Clears out that banana brush board. Looking for another shotgun, and Cream can't find him. Clears a couple dogs out, but there's a W available.
In terms of summoning them back, slow setup. No explosive plays right now. What that has meant is that you've bought time for the Callisto ult to come back. Jackulov, everyone's ultimate's available. Grand majority of summoners available too. A couple of flashes down, just but Chris, Navi, and Cream not having that means their playmate is a lot worse. Spear starting to get stacked up, and 369 will stop Flandre from coming into the play with his Realm of Death.
Not there though right now. Of course, he's down that bot side. Dragon secured. We'll have to fight up as Kyle hops on forward with the shield bolt. Turns around with the Excel's impact between worlds is pulled. But not really tall. Flandre jumps into the wall, but they blow up the Skarner. Pop Blossom back on the other side. The Grand Starfall comes flying on in. And the Fates call that Nico out to safety. Flandre has a lot of spears, but he's not really all under all that much threat. Into the Death Realm goes Kyle. Will likely die at 369. They get one back, but he's now in the middle of 4. As anyone's legend come away with everyone but Jackie Love. And that might not even be true for very long. Will W to buy some time, and the call of the pack was not quite enough to get in range. So it'll still be Jackie Love survive, emerges into 4 people.
You know you're having a bad game when you hear they delete the Skarner. Yep, I definitely hear that one. This time, though, he might be returning. The favor, Shanks is getting good damage down. That rises in the machine gun spot.
Hope just about survives on the other side, but Kanavi will die. Tarzan now with a reset. The Hound's Pursuit available onto Jackulov has a Blasco. Drags Tarzan over the wall, but can eviscerate away. Still hit by the Tangle Barb, though. Reach between walls, can come on through the Pop Blossom's there. They flash on him for Shanks, who does kill off Jackulov on that Callista. Chris trying to run away. All the while, Cream is in a 1v3. Gets one, can't quite get out alive, though.
The machine gun rise is doing an ungodly amount of legwork here for anyone's legend. Top Esports can't deal with everyone. 369 wasn't even at that plate.
Scion 2 items himself. You're looking at 2.5 items on this Rise, who stopped off for the arm guard, but has also gone for a Negatron cloak because, of course, he needs more resists. This guy is so obnoxious at this point. Gets the route onto Cream. He's got nowhere ready to go. In comes the Grand Starfall, and Cream is eaten up like the dessert he is named for. Dies out. Kyle picks that one up, and Top Esports are falling apart in game 1 at this point if they weren't already in pieces.
The only thing that's a shame is that the support isn't there too. Legend can be having themselves some donut gaming in the Krispy Kreme. They have feasted on everything on the rest of the snack concrete. Yeah, it's a lot of damage, isn't it? Dragon spawning at 30 seconds. Recently is still. Hang on, he's trying to steal that buff. He's getting smited away anyway, doesn't it?
He's in a 1v3. Can of course Death Realm. Trying to trade out on Tarzan. Does a fair amount of work. What about the rest of Top Esports? They're buying a lot of time for people to come on over. Tarzan will immediately go into a W, takes a lot of damage back, and now this jungler's in a lot of danger. Tries to eviscerate away, and a flash over the wall for that massive Soul Furnace. Gets one back, though. Does Crispin dies doing it? What about the Rumble coming on in? Here is Shanks into the pit to pick up the Aurora. Kanavi can't RV, and he dies as well.
Top Esports might have just lost the game over a red buff take in the LPL, and it hasn't looked that close, actually.
No, it hasn't. The early lane dominance bot side was crushed before it could ever really begin. The Skarner has found very little impact with the ults. And on the other side of it, Kyle on the Pantheon, everywhere. Tarzan on this Neferi, everything.
Now, this is why, you know, in LEC and in LCK, when I see the Neferi losing, I am aghast. This champion has ruled the junglers because they're allowed to play their junglers to be carries a little bit more instead of doing more of the traditional utility and CC. Right here, you're against the Mordekaiser, and Tarzan. Gastic just gets so much work down with the Hex Drink, of course, helping him out too. The healing, Cream's died as we come back to life. That bunny's been put down like they've got myxomatosis. As anyone's legend, there's just another one on the hunt.
They are... Chris needs to back away a little bit here as Kyle just runs at him, Conqueror stack. There's a TP into the pit as Flondre's now here as well. Kanavi now in danger, gets knocked up by the unstoppable onslaught. 369 gets the darkness rising around it, but Kyle can immune so much of it with the Aegis as Dalton Tarzan gets his reset, looking for another angle on in. 369 into the death realm with hope, trying to win that one of a flash out of the obliterate, keeps the Corki alive. Kyle will step on forward and trade his life, but Tarzan avenges him with a triple kill to boot. This game is over.
This game's been over for a while. This is just the confirmation of it, heading towards that bot side. That'll be the base broken. Will it be the end of the game here? No, I think with the reset coming in from Cream, that won't be the case, but Anyone's Legend, very, very confident game here. Have to revisit the point that we made earlier on. This is not an easy composition to play from Anyone's Legend. I was worried for them heading in against top esports on paper before the drafts came in, because Anyone's Legend, they don't have as strong regular standard lanes in my eye as top esports. With lane swaps being removed, I was worried about them. So one of the biggest things that they succeeded at last split, that they've put a lot of those worries to rest, at least for this game.
Looking at the other side of this now, Tarzan. We always know him for having a playbook for the early game. At his best, he's someone with a great opportunity to mess up those early pathing, and Kanavi has been the recipient of him. He's just not a tank anymore. Shanks deletes him. On the other side, Cream and Chris going to try and find an angle, and it does look okay, but just not enough damage. Kyle stays alive, and Chris burns his life to find nothing. I get the top esports are in desperation stations. It's flip the dice and pray, but it is all so weighted against them. They've gone gambling, and unfortunately the house always wins. Anyone's Legend. Looking like everyone's legend today. Shanks goes golden. Jackie Love not able to pull the rend out. He's now going to get Hounds Pursuit. Flashes to what end? You don't get to run away from the Hounds of Hell. This time dressed up as hot dogs. Eat your dinner, mate. You're going to food coma for at least another 35 seconds. It's over.
Anyone's Legend will claim the first victory here in a finals rematch from last split. And to be honest, folks, this wasn't really close. We thought top esports came in with a
very good with the Kaiser. Obviously, 2 plasma procs available right the way from level 1, from the hook and then the auto. And it's fairly tanky. You can stack yourself up some distant skill and practice in Renekton versus Gnar. Stuff like the Kaiser versus MF, which you won't see as much, but being able to outplay these again, flash forwards.
Yes, there's the flash for that ruthless predator. Kolbamik available and used. Flondre is taken out. Nice play from 369.
Oh, they might get a return of this though into the bot side. Kyle goes forwards using the demolish. Demolish that shock.
Fading out, coming on along as Tarzan here to make this a 2v3. The absolute bane of top esports live. Redline missing though, not hitting a wall. Means there will be no reset on that. Turnaround begins to come on through as there's a teleport fly, but it's a very low or long time for that TP to come on through to make it rain slow. But Hope in a position where he has to flash. 369 looking for an angle, 1-for-1 the bot side.
But now 369 is not going to be happening here. Cream level advantage in mid lane, which is not what Shanks particularly wants. Dragon taken quickly by Anyone's Legend. Kaiser one of the better champions.
Back courtesy some of that healing, and of course the fact he's got the Spirit Cleave to even out the trade somewhat.
Be careful.
He's supercharging. Maybe to look for an ult. Does so, but a flash for the pulverize is very well done. Now flash away from Hope, but there's nowhere really to go. The Death Judge comes on through. The barrier is there. Flash forward from Jet. 369 gets one as Kyle goes over the wall, trying to keep people under turret, but ends up hooking the Alistair.
Rather than been able to pull ahead and kind of leverage that to the best way. Green jumping between them, knowing he can win the trade here, taking a ballsy angle. Good health off Shanks though.
This would be first turret as well if they can secure that. That would be the feats of strength. Love to keep playing for it, but here comes Kyle
down. They can use the Kaiser ult.
Death charges in onto multiple people. Glacier Prison after awareness. The Kaiser coming on, looking to get an angle on here, but the massive 3-man pulverize keeps Kanavi alive, who's now going to phase rush out to safety, but still burns out. They've gotten 2. Cream had to flash away, and top esports get punished as a flash for that Mortal Steel Part 3 into the permafrost. Secures another.
Hope will tank the last shot. The E from the Yone doing so much work that had banked up the killing damage onto...
problematic. I think Tarzan's too low HP to take this. This could be a bit of a problem. They're looking for the smite fight. Can they get it in time? Yes, they can. All right. No fight happening afterwards.
Tarzan should still have an Arctic Assault if he needs to leave. Does he want to try and play this? He's got a Glacier
No, they
Prison.
want to get the inroad onto mid lane, but Shanks teleports in to cancel that out.
Tarzan now zoned away from coming to help that. That will be mid-tier 1. Falling bot lane turret's already on a sliver of HP, so I think they're in a pretty precarious position in terms of these structures or Anyone's Legend.
Yeah, top esports play the gamut and say, look, we can't get towards that dragon, but we can punish you with the 6 grubs. We said that 6 grubs typically not winning out a lot of games now compared to dragon stacking
in the top level of pro play. And Legend will be able to hold on to that bot side and I guess be able to save their own top lane, bot lane turret for a little longer, but I feel like the best thing ever for them.
Frost available. In comes Kai'Sa. They get a pulverize and a depth charge coming on through. And 369 survives. Dominus and Flash with
Jackie,
and that is Flandre coming along as well. But yes, you're right. Jackie Love is here. Can look for the bullet time. Lands it. Kyle will likely die. Does so, but it's an interrupt onto Jackie, who cleanses now. 369 though still stands, and so they lose one and don't get anything back in return.
Tristana, 6 growth pushing in topside. So anyone's Legend. Yeah, I just called that out. The Tristana pushing in no, you can do it yourself if you have enough attack speed.
Okay, so you just get a knock, but then
you need Berserker and like one more item. Rob's gonna go down. Hang on. Kyle does have an angle here. Oh, Jackie flashes away.
Pulverize used by, headbutt used burned by Chris, but now Jackie Love's in danger. Flash on top of him, does not have the cleanse. If they can get the permafrost, they can bring him down. Hope Joe's just managed to auto him down. Kanavi tried to buy time with the ult, but they just lose the bottom lane. 369 at least will claim the tier 2 while all that was happening. So they do get a turret in trade.
They do. So the gold is not going to move that much. I will say that Hope is getting very, very fed. Anyone's Legend moving around the map well, at least choosing their area for fights pretty effectively, and they will take down this mid lane outer turret. That's a big thing for them. If they're looking for big diving plays, this is a huge tower to take, which makes this more difficult. Doesn't have flash. So if you land the CC and he cleanses, the plasma's still on him, Kai'Sa can still jump towards him, so there's still every chance that Hope can just say, alright, go for the play onto the Misfortune. Yes, they might not be CC'd, but I can fly into them. We can make it a 2v3 dive somewhere. On bot side too, 369 has teleport, Tarzan spot. I mean, they have so many control wards. Okay,
so a big square of them.
They've got everything. They set up for that dragon, of course, beforehand. It's gonna go down. Flash straight up to Cream.
That's interrupted the rocket jump. So Cream has to flash. Buster shot away. TP in from Flandre is nearly at Mega. Jackie in a 1v2 immediately cleanses. TP now in from 369, looking for the angle. Kanavi slows down Flandre, who's not at the Mega now yet. That's Atakan, who could start getting in trouble here if they overplay this. Flash for the twisted advance. That's on to Chris. Throw to Tarzan, a poison jungler's dead. Kanavi though in danger himself. Surely burned out to Flandre, does so. Atakan has been aggroed. That means Flandre's in danger, will likely fall here as a result of it all. 2 for 1 in favor of top esports.
The dive combo doesn't work from anyone's Legend. This Yone ultimate, I don't know whether it wasn't spaced out appropriately. Maybe Shanks was surprised he hit the Q3, but it means that Cream can flash out of the combo and Hope can't get the kill. And suddenly top esports can rebuild their battle lines and take the fight. Anyone's Legend, I think they thought they'd get the quick pick onto the Tristana and out, but it doesn't work out like that at all.
As a result, they try to
try and get onto these double AD carries at some point, but the AD carries are ahead. They are building towards last whispers now. And Anyone's Legend, hang on, that's a great ult to Cream. It's not enough buffered away from.
Cream on the whole, pretty good job with buffering a lot of the attempted picks onto him. I wonder whether with Jackie Love having his cleanse down, he might have been a wiser target. A Buster shot would have made things tricky. Kyle steps on forward, puts the Riptide down and tries to clear out the wave. Tarzan will ask for salt forward, but here comes Kanavi with a massive turnaround. Chris with the pulverize allows that bullet time to hit onto multiple people. The turns around with the fate sealed. Buster shot it away to prevent too much damage, but Cream still falls.
Anyone's Legend should absolutely be dead, but they are into a full physical damage team, and the full AD, full physical damage resist as well here. Just look how much damage these tanks take. It's a lot, but imagine how much more it would be if there wasn't... Hang on a second, we're going straight into towards Baron. Let's get back into live. Anyone's Legend, they are really letting us flip it, aren't they?
This could be dangerous. No ult for Jackie, that makes it tricky. Chris goes into the backside, double pulverize again. Into the backline goes Shanks to try to find an angle, can't quite get it. Yes, Kanavi's in danger. Double bramble smash means he dies all the same. 369 in danger, Captain Rain, huge value. Jackie just about alive, but not before the Spirit Cleave comes on through. Anyone's Legend, do it again.
Anyone's Legend, clutch shot.
Front line.
Okay, so onto the dragon we go. Remember, W upgrade for Hope really makes them a poke monster. How much poke can they get? Kanavi has his ult. That's important too. Here comes the Nature's Grasp. Nature's Grasp comes across. Shanks avoids them. Now looking for an angle onto Jackie. Dodges both though, Jackie. So Shanks finds no value. They get the soul point regardless. 369 on the backside though. Surely falls. Does so. Shanks with the massive shield. Curtis Model Jimmers Hope into the backline. Agapian Rain will finally bring the sound of this Misfortune down, but Kanavi Wing onto the Kai'Sa, brought them low. Cream is still free firing, doing so much damage. They've killed another. Shanks needs to run. Kyle needs to run. Another rocket jump. Another dead member, surely. As they will W forwards again. The twisted advance secures Cream. Another kill. Top esports have a second AD. One of the Tristana or the Misfortune and make a real mess of things. Tarzan doesn't really have to be afraid of that much in the world. Flandre maybe does a little bit more.
Well, hit by that stride breaker slow, and there comes Nature's Grasp, forces a flash away with the turnaround now, potentially on the back end, as the Glacier lands well.
No bullet time.
Hope could do so much damage, he's going to get through so many passes. Crisp has got the ult running, headbutts out, trying to get to safety, but Fondra's got Mega Knock coming in the man, Konami, into the main seal from Shanks, who stabs him through the heart. Shanks by name, eviscerate by nature. And Top Esports must run to the hills. Tarzan looking for the blast cone. Cream just spotted. Jacula just spotted. How much further can they chase?
There's a slow denied by Tarzan's passive. They still have the bot lane out of turret coming out.
Boy.
Cream, what does he got? He doesn't have Buster
Slow.
Shot. He has a lot of damage though.
Tarzan will have to back away. Can't quite get enough time on that. But that is the Baron jump entirely denied.
It is.
Flandre TP top lane.
He flat top, he teleports up there because he knows he can take a lot of gold from across the map. As you were saying beforehand, it's a full physical damage comp. Yes, the last whispers are there, but the tanks feel so
369 is not the front line he was at 5 minutes into the game. Tarzan's been jumped on. Is that split off enough? He will have a flash, maybe force to burn it. Needs to get out of there. Does so. The Nature's Grasp comes on down as Shanks flashed out as well. But he's on a bullet time. He's surely going to die. Does so. What about the other side of the fight? There's nothing there. They've lost a member. Kyle was looking for a flag, but now he's split. Oh, anyone's legend. Not like this. Over to the backside, tries to go to Cream, can't quite get the kill. Tarzan looking for something against the Glacier Prison, but will not find it. Flandre in a 1 versus 3, surely dies. They're trying to clear waves.
Shanks dies to the nerf to Yone. He can't buffer through the CC. He gets stunned even though he tanks up Marco. Now Hope has nothing left. He can Zhonya's, but that'll be it. The flash leads to nothing and anyone's legend. Despite the armor stacking, despite what we thought was a winning team fight, cannot end this game, and Top Esports will run back to them with their 6 scrubs and Ruinous Atakan.
It was an omen of destruction. He said, yes, the Lord Doms will be enough if they get separated. Tarzan starts separated. Shank starts separated. Kyle ends separated. The only member left surviving for a moment or two longer, but Top Esports claim game 2 to take us all the way to a 3rd game in this series.
They need Tarzan and Shanks to do a lot of work early game to make sure that the rest of the team can make it through to that point of power. Typically, you'd think that Jin can get there himself, but against the Ezreal, it's been the way to deal with Top Esports. Can they get onto Crisp? Crisp is their option, is the play here.
Looking for the passive route. There's an exhaust coming down. They don't quite get the passive. Gonna flash, heal away, but does Crisp have any more mobility to get on out? As Tarzan has a flash into the Sky Splitter, and they break the level 2. It happens again.
Top Esports bot lane just don't pay attention to the minimap. They get the hard push. They're winning the 2v2. That's fine.
You have a good look at players like Ming, right, who had a bad season, and they're not playing so much anymore.
That's contract stuff. Teleport, hang on a second. That's a problem, Flandre.
Alright, Flandre. He's down here. Crisp and Jackie level 2 and 3. That's the level 4 Gwen, who actually does a fair amount of snipping. Decent hallowed miss, puts Jackie in a dangerous spot. Still has the flash, still has the cleanse, maybe forced to pop it. Flash away. Flandre can't get the kills he's looking for, and just dies.
I don't know what happened with that teleport. He must have just seen that Jacqueline is maybe he's just looking for the smite fight here.
369's around, only level 5. We'll get a Sky Splitter shield. Still look to play with this one. They're going down to a very much a smite fight. Right, the Gwen gets the dragon. Tries to play this one out. Shank's now in danger. Tries to look for the ult out of here. Sorry about that one, Alex. Managed to hit him with my knee as I got a bit excited in that play. As Flandre now in danger, gets to jump away, and ow, 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 ow.
Top Esports, they lose the dragon, but what is Tarzan thinking he's going to achieve there? Cream gets down to the play first, and I suppose Flandre gets the steal, but anyone's actually giving up a lot of gold. And what did we say about this composition? Top Esports can really leverage their early advantage, their early matchups well against their opposing numbers, and I'm really quite afraid here for anyone's legend.
Well, maybe a bit of bait for Tarzan. Still here, gets the charm, and now Kanavi's gone too deep. They have baited it in well. Kyle now throws up the door and prevents any easy follow-up. Tarzan potentially in dangerous. Cream keeps autoing, gets the soldier down, but they do pick off Kanavi, and grubs have just spawned.
Shanks, Dragons can be split. AL took the first dragon. I mean, objectively speaking, AL with objectives, doing okay here. 3 grubs and the first dragon. Means that Top Esports don't have a second dragon to play around. What Rift is it? Ocean? I mean, in this kind of game, yeah, pretty good. Very good for Gwen. Very, very good for Gwen.
Thinking for tight matchups as well. Not great for considering all this lightning flying.
True.
Azad splits the skies and calls forth the Storm God. Reset now from 369, who's not going to go back quite yet. They'll lose another grub, 5 grubs and a kill over to anyone's legend. And I'm watching Nymera have his face in his hands. What on earth was that?
I did just see that Shanks missed.
Oh man,
Shabrama.
boss.
Amps are going to go into Flandre now. They got themselves the bot turret potentially. Don't have grubs, so they'll go for the dark.
Session. Gonna try and play for one out. There's the root coming on down. Decent snip. Go gets a lot of damage as Crisp will fall for that trade. TP now comes on in 369 in danger. Kanavi's gonna have to run as well. Does Shanks have a flash or an ult to try and chase on to 369?
He's too far away. If he goes closer, might be... No, he's too far away. Grub's going to be able to take some damage off of this. Teleport him down. And Crisp doing a good job of matching the map, actually. Making sure that his laners are doing well. Oh, gets the quick out of there, and the ult doesn't save it.
What a combo. Nicely done, Top Esports mid-jungle.
Really well played from Cream. I don't think Shanks recognized nearly soon enough that that was a huge swing.
Don't teleport to be there as well, so that's a rough moment. Top Esports suddenly find themselves with a sizable gold lead here. Top side, they're going to go for the turret dive, call down the Thunder God as the Storm split. I remember that name a little later on in 369. I think he's probably just dead while I am fumbling for ability name.
Oh.
No, he is not, because Kanavi is there with a cease and desist to turn it all around. Speaking of fumbles, a bad one there from Tarzan, who dies. They've got... Oh, Storm?
Stormbringer, isn't it?
Stormbringer, that's the one.
Stormbringer.
Correct.
Pretty helpful. Basically enough.
Being said and done. Dragon going to be taken by Top Esports to be their second of the game. All the while, at least, Flandre and the rest of anyone's legend can pick up the Herald. You'd be happy with. Maybe at 10 stacks. Shanks goes looking for an ult play here, but Cream just goes, cool, I'm going to slide away, put up the Sundisk. Flandre now here. Still an ult charge. Needlework is popped, and they just turn the play off. That's a Sundisk in trade for a couple ultimates, and now mid lane's in danger as Top Esports get the shove on forwards.
Well, they don't have the 5 grubs. This won't fall that quickly. That's a big flash forwards, trying to kill the squishy support.
They will do so. Crisp, too far forwards on the Karma, goes down. The flash from Tarzan is lethal.
Now, this is what Dragon will go before this contest, though.
Probably will. 369 looking at a potential flank angle. Has one last code and a flash. Dragon is taken. How aggressive does 369 want to play? He's got a slicing measure on a flash. Gets on in. Onto 2 members. The W is good from Flandre. The hallowed mist allows him to stay sanctified and safe. But only for a moment or two. But wait. Look at the curtain call. Anyone's legend. Turn it all around. The Stormbringer comes on through. Jackie and Cream get that one. Ends up being a 2 for 3. As a little bit of an overdive at the end from Tarzan.
It's a bit of an overdive in different points in the fight from both teams. 369 doesn't get a clean kill, and Shanks ends up living to do more damage. And you're absolutely right, pointing out the damage which Hope did midway through that fight too. Cream still has the wave clear available to make some play here. Cancel down on the dash though, and he has no mobility left.
God, gets
one
with
kill
it.
under the turret, and anyone's legend will make it a 1-for-1, but they will take the turret. Great skill shot accuracy. That is actually game-changing. Here comes Tarzan, but there's no follow-up. He's going very dangerously deep.
Shanks has at least got more HP to land as he does land that charm onto Cream, who gets the shuffle out. Dragon secured that soul. Cease and desist in the backline alongside the slicing maelstrom that is only exhausted at the very damn end. Flash over the wall for Jackie, who cleanses away the charm, and Hope desperately trying to outplay as Jackie has shields, has Ocean Soul, has them all. It's Hope springs eternal, but unfortunately, he's not going to spring into anything resembling a one team.
Get himself a Baron. Get himself Atacon afterwards. They'll have GA and they'll have the ability to force with it. Split map comes through. 5 grubs for anyone's legend does mean that they kill towers very quickly. They will get an objective bounty from that top lane out of turret, but they will need to return to mid and bot lane in short order to make sure their base stays intact.
One turret, trade for the Atacon and trade for the Baron and trade for the Dragon feels pretty rough, all things said and done. Alan, don't get me wrong, I feel for that. Last Dragon fight. The rest of his team was delayed by Jackie 11. The Dragon was going down then, so you have to go and try and play for the smite, but this can cost him. Flandre, 2 levels down on 369. He's got no mana. Takes a turret shot and will dance away at the very least. But it means there is no volley bear and no Gwen here defending this turret on the bottom. You land a charm, but there's a massive shield. It means the Ahri does negative damage right now.
Nope, doesn't really do much, and the Bloodthirst will mean that they'll be shrugged off next time he hits a minion. Ahri goes in to help the mid lane break. They have 2 minutes left of the Atacon with the Baron buff. It means they get to be Baroned up with the GAs for the entirety of the duration of it. Top Esports, this is a very easy to combo to end with.
369 still chasing Flandre. It's Yakety Sax between the top lanes, but it means your Gwen's not here, who's finally going to get towards the base, but she's at 20% HP with no mana. This base is under siege. The Nexus turrets are about to fall. Flandre is all but dead, does actually burn out, and now you're playing a 5v4 for the next 50 seconds. Nexus turret number 1's going to fall, and Top Esports are looking to make sure they slit the throats of anyone's legends, who unfortunately have met the villains of the LPL. It looks like we might be having a contest. It looks like we might even be having an upset, but it's...